This is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, the Overman, Exodus Pro founder, EC3. I'm here with Big T, and you're watching Beyond the Ring with Big T. Cool. Thank you. Well, you're welcome.
What's up, guys? It's Wardlow here, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring with Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
How's it going out there today, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you today. And this is your TNA Impact Wrestling review and results show for today. Actually Thursday, January 16, 2025. Again, I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you today. Let's get right into it and see what we got. Hope you guys are ready for another great discussion about TNA Impact Wrestling, because I'll tell you what, guys, I know I am. We witnessed another great show on Thursday night, and the end of the show is where everything came into play when Tessa Blanchard showed up at the commentary booth. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about it and everything you guys need to know. So let's get into it. I'll do a quick overview of the results here before we get into the main topic at hand of Tessa Blanchard at the end of the show. So let's take a look here, guys, and see what we got as far as our results, because we did have some stuff go down on this show. And by the way, this is the go home show for Genesis, because Genesis is actually now, as we're sitting here live, it's Saturday the 18th, so Genesis is actually going to be live tomorrow night, which, don't worry guys, I will without a doubt be covering Genesis. Not sure what day, but I'll be covering Genesis and the return match, the comeback match for Tessa Blanchard. I can't wait. Tessa Blanchard versus Jordynne Grace. Guys, this is going to be amazing stuff. So, all right. The results of what we have here is we were at Center Stage Theater, again. So, hold on here. Alright, so we started off the show. We got Trent Seven going up against Leon Slater. In the end, Slater puts Trent Seven away with the Swanton 450 for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win, so Leon Slater gets the win over Trent Seven. Kazarian was at ringside on commentary after the match. Slater thwarts a blindside attack attempt from Kazarian. Joe Hendry's determined to become the new TNA World Champion when he challenges Nick Nemeth this Sunday at Genesis. We got the personal concierge comes out for a pre-launch celebration by Elegance with Ash and Heather. And this comes before Knockout's World Tag Team title opportunity for them against Spitfire at Genesis. The personal concierge reveals what Ash and Heather will look like with the Knockouts World Tag Team titles around their waist. Then, of course, Ash and Heather, they give a speech for themselves. And, next thing we know, Spitfire, Danny Luda, and Jody Threat interrupt the celebration. Both teams face off. Spitfire ends up getting the advantage in that one. Gia Miller interviews PCO and Sami Callihan as they prepare to battle the Hardys in a match where if they win, they will be added to the TNA World Tag Team title match at Genesis. Next up, we move on to Eric Young and Steve Macklin going up against First Class of AJ Francis and KC Navarro. In the end, Macklin turns the tide with the Olympic slam to Francis. Young bites Navarro and drops him with the top rope elbow drop for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win. So Eric Young and Steve Macklin get the win over First Class of AJ Francis and KC Navarro. After the match, the System glare at Young and Macklin from the top of the ramp. And before they collide on a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match for the Knockouts World title this Sunday at Genesis, Masha Slamovich and Rosemary step into the confessional. And they speak last Saturday at a Prestige Wrestling event. Judas Akuris and Travis Williams of the Northern Armory beat down Mike Santana. Josh Alexander, Judas Akuris, and Travis Williams are in the ring as Alexander says that after the beatdown Mike Santana sustained at the hands of the Northern Armory last week, he will not be cleared to compete at Genesis. Much to Alexander's dismay, Santana proves him wrong as he appears in the crowd. Santana's not backing down and announces that at Genesis his match against Alexander will now be an I Quit match. So we got the Laredo Kid going up against Jake Something. In the end, Jake Something goes up to the top rope and hits a thunderous top rope powerbomb for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win. Jake Something getting the win over Laredo Kid. Ace Austin looks to become a 4-time X Division champion when he challenges Moose this Sunday at Genesis. And in what was the main event of the evening, but not the main event match, but the actual main event is coming up. So hear me out. Alright, so we had Matt and Jeff the Hardys against PCO and Sami Callihan. In the end, Matt takes out Callihan with the twist of fate. Well, Jeff, he hits the Whisper in the Wind to PCO. Matt takes out Callihan with the twist of fate. Jeff puts Callihan away with the Swanton Bomb for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win. So you got your winners, the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, getting the win over PCO and Sami Callihan. And, there will be no... PCO and Sami Callihan added to the Hardys and Rascals match. But, this is what we got here. Oh, first. That was the last match, but then we got a segment between Nick Nemeth, TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth, and #1 contender Joe Hendry go face-to-face before their TNA World Title Showdown this Sunday at Genesis. Hendry claims that Genesis is a new era. It all starts with him holding the TNA World Championship. Nemeth has his doubts about whether or not Hendry is ready to become a world champion, as Nemeth shows a clip from Bound for Glory that proves that he had nothing to do with John Layfield's involvement in their first meeting. Ryan Nemeth interrupts the brother Nick Nemeth and tries to convince his brother Nick that Joe Hendry is not his friend. Tensions quickly escalate between Hendry and Ryan. as Hendry picks Ryan up for the standing ovation, but Nick takes him out with a super kick. Conflicted by his actions, Nick exits the ring. So now, this is where things get good. I mean, all those segments and matches, they were good. You know, it made the show definitely solid. You know, not going to deny that. You know, it was really, really good stuff. But see, now we are at the point where, you know, we're going to discuss the whole bread and butter. The whole bread and butter of what we came here for TNA Impact today. And guys, I can't even explain to you just how super excited I really am. You know, this match, honestly, this next match that we're going to be talking about with Tessa Blanchard and Jordynne Grace, this match is going to be something to see. It really is. I mean, the more that this match builds, the more excitement there is. I mean, you know, Tessa Blanchard especially, she has done an incredible job with building this whole feud. I mean, guys, when was the last time anybody here was this excited for any match or feud on TNA Wrestling? Now, TNA Wrestling, of course, is a really great company, but the excitement now is kicked to a whole new level with this Jordynne Grace Tessa Blanchard feud. It really is. And, you know, this all started on Thursday night, where all this started on Thursday night. Let's see. So we were just going along with the show. There was no advertised interactions with Jordynne Grace or Tessa Blanchard to be seen on this show. And next thing you know, Jordynne Grace comes out to commentary, like midway through the show, right? Jordynne Grace learns that Tessa Blanchard has not signed the contract for their scheduled grudge match this Sunday at Genesis. Jordynne Grace goes to the announce table, leaves the contract at the announcer's table for Tessa Blanchard to sign. That was about midway through the show. Then when we had everything else that we had happen, matches and whatnot, segments, after everything was done, I thought the show was going off the air. I did. I thought it was done. You know, we saw everything we were going to see, that they were going to take the show on home. Meanwhile, right before they go off the air, Tessa Blanchard appears at ringside. And she is aggressive as ever. She comes through the crowd. She goes to the commentary table. She grabs the contract. She signs the contract. She throws it. Ends up going in the crowd. She gets it out of the crowd. She throws it at the commentators. And then she grabs Tom Phillips by his shirt. And you got Aiden English over there trying to back, to step in the middle here and kind of calm Tessa down and back everything up. But next thing you know, when this is going on, when Tessa appears at ringside and signs the contract for a match against Jordynne Grace at Genesis, out of nowhere, Jordynne Grace comes through the crowd now, and she attacks Tessa Blanchard. And the brawl is on between both women. They start brawling again, and the excitement was on. Next thing you know, they get in the ring, they're going back and forth, back and forth. Jordynne ends up giving Tessa the Grace driver, and then Tessa rolls out of the ring. Jordynne standing tall in the ring, but here is the main thing. Tessa was not down and out. Oh no, you ain't keeping Tessa Blanchard down, no way. What happened here was that Tessa Blanchard, she ended up getting up. When she got up on the outside of the ring, the intense look on her face, oh my God, guys, you could feel the tension. You could just feel Tessa's just her, you know, her feeling of anger just looking at Jordynne. You could feel the aggression. Tessa is just ready to get in that ring and take it to Jordynne Grace and just beat the living crap out of her. Telling you guys, Tessa is going to show up big time on Sunday night and take it to Jordynne Grace like Jordynne Grace has never had it taken to her before in a match. And Tessa, she is on a whole new level right now. Like, she is just head and shoulders above the rest in TNA. I'm so pumped, guys. I'm so pumped. I can't wait for Genesis on Sunday. I can't wait to see Tessa walking down to that ring to go at it with Jordynne Grace and reclaim her throne in TNA wrestling. I can't wait, guys. I really can't wait. I have never been so excited about something in wrestling. And you know, just to see what is on the horizon. I mean, I'm more excited for Tessa's return match than I am for WrestleMania this year. I'm more excited, anything with Tessa Blanchard than I am anything WrestleMania or WWE or anything for that matter. Tessa is just unbelievable, and I am so glad. I'm so glad that she's back, really. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, guys. And Tessa Blanchard was actually doing an interview a couple days ago. Tessa Blanchard comments on her return to TNA Wrestling and how it came about. So during a recent appearance on the Battleground podcast, TNA Wrestling star Tessa Blanchard commented on making her return to wrestling, speaking with former TNA President Scott D'Amore and Gail Kim and more. So, this was on her return, following her hiatus, and Tessa says, and I quote, I decided to go back to wrestling when CMLL called me and go out to Mexico, and I fell in love out there. Fell in love with the country, the culture, the people, Arena Mexico. It solidified the fact and reassured me that I still am great and I can still do this, and this is where I need to be, in a ring. TNA and I had talks way back in January of 2024, and when they had their Hard to Kill pay-per-view last year, but for me, it didn't seem like the right time to go back. I was happy in Mexico. I had finally found my happiness again. So happy for Tessa. Now, this next part of the show was Tessa talking about overcoming her recent anxiety. Tessa says, and I quote, I know how much anxiety I had acquired over the past few years. It is hard to explain anxiety if you do not experience it. It is like a weight on your chest that you can't get off. For me personally, I shut down and closed myself off. I can't really speak about it. I was like, I'm happy in Mexico. These people don't judge me. These people don't think something about me. These people don't have any preconceived notions. And I can just wrestle and do what I love. I don't want to give that up. It did not seem like the right time. And Tessa talking more about on her past talks with TNA in early 2024. And Tessa had to say here, I talked to Scott D'Amore and Gail Kim at the time, and it didn't seem right, so we didn't do it. Months and months later, looking at my life, I am 29 years old. I always said in my head, I have a good solid number in my head of when I don't want to be a wrestler past. And one day, I would like to have a family, putting all those things into perspective and prioritizing what I need to prioritize, I was like, maybe now's the time. I need to jump in and see if there is something there. See if there is a chance to return. See if there's a chance to return, and not to be the exact same Tessa that I was, because I'm such a different woman now. But see, there's still success for me out there, doing what I love, speaking to Gail and Ariel. It seemed like a good time to try it out in return. End quote. And this was from the Battleground podcast with Tessa Blanchard as their guest. Amazing stuff, guys. So happy for Tessa. I can't stress that point enough. And I can't wait for Sunday night. I can't. What's up, Poppy Carl? How's it going? Thanks for coming on in. But yeah, guys, that was TNA Impact Wrestling this past Thursday night. Now, as far as here, I'll give you this as a quick little bonus. As far as what I think here about the match card, who I think the winners and losers will be, I'll give you a real quick prediction. So let me see here. Okay, so I got the full match card up, thanks to TNA.com. Okay, Frankie Kazarian against Leon Slater. This is going to be on the Countdown to Genesis, on the pre-show. Oh, man. I'm going to go with Leon Slater to get the win over Frankie Kazarian. I say they put Leon Slater over. We'll go with that. Eric Young and Steve Macklin against the System of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. Ooh, I'm going to go with Eric Young and Steve Macklin to get the win over the System. This is the main card now, right here. This is the main card stuff. But I'll go with Eric Young and Steve Macklin to beat the System. We got TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. We got Ash and Heather by Elegance challenging the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions of Spitfire. I'm going to go with Spitfire to get the win over Ash and Heather by Elegance. Spitfire will still be your TNA World Tag Team Champions. Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, sorry. Next up, X Division title match. Moose defending his X Division Championship against Ace Austin. This is going to be a great match. You know, we're in the middle of a singles push for Ace Austin, but I don't know if they're going to go and give him the X Division Championship again. It looks like they're building him to the world title. I mean, yeah, you could build the world title and, you know, build him up for the world title by having him win the X Division title. I don't know, though. You know, Moose, he's been doing pretty damn good with that title. I'm going to go with Moose to get the win over Ace Austin, and Moose is going to retain the TNA X Division Championship. I'm going with Moose. Next up, I Quit match. Josh Alexander and Mike Santana, one-on-one. I'm going to go with Mike Santana to make Josh Alexander quit. So, I'm going with Mike Santana to make Josh Alexander quit. Jason Spencer. Yes, let's go TNA. Going to be a good year, and it's going to be a great year, Jason, because of Tessa Blanchard. I'm so pumped. So pumped. Next up, TNA World Tag Team Championship match. Matt and Jeff, the Hardys, defending against the Rascals. I'm going to go with the Hardys to beat the Rascals and still be your TNA World Tag Team Champions. TNA Knockouts World Championship, Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. TNA Knockouts Champion Masha Slamovich defending against Rosemary. I'm going to go with Masha Slamovich to get the win over Rosemary here. The TNA World Championship match. Nick Nemeth defending against Joe Hendry. I'm going to go with Nick Nemeth. Or, you know what? No, I'm going to go with Joe Hendry to get the win over Nick Nemeth. And for Joe Hendry to become the brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I'm going with Joe Hendry. Do you believe in Joe Hendry? I think a lot of people do. And for me, personally, this is the main event of the evening here for TNA Genesis 2025. Tessa Blanchard going one-on-one with Jordynne Grace. I'm going with Tessa Blanchard to get the win over Jordynne Grace, guys. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait for Sunday night. All right, so that's my predictions. You can also leave your predictions in the comment section below. Let me know who you think the winners of the matches are going to be at Genesis. I just let you guys know. So, yeah, you can leave that in the comment section, have a little fun with. What do you think about Tessa Blanchard and Jordynne Grace? I'm so pumped, guys. I can't wait for Sunday. Sunday is going to be big, and I'll be here with you sometime next week, whether it be Monday or after, to review Genesis for sure. And we'll talk all about the Genesis pay-per-view, which is going to be amazing, and Tessa Blanchard's return match, which I can't wait to talk about. But anyway, guys, TNA Impact Wrestling for Thursday, January 16, 2025. I'm going to give the show a 10 out of 10 plus, and the 2 thumbs up and the Big T seal of approval. It's going to be a great show. It was a great show on Thursday, but on Sunday night, we're going to get the great show of Genesis. I can't wait. So it's going to do it for me, guys. So I will see you guys next time. Yes, there will be a next time for me right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T. That'll be for your TNA Wrestling Genesis pay-per-view review and results show sometime next week. Don't forget us, and we won't forget you. Of course, if you want the best, and yes, I do mean the absolute best for all of your professional wrestling needs, right here on the internet, right here on YouTube.com today. Always remember to think Beyond the Ring with Big T. And, of course, everybody, always remember and never, ever forget that I'm your host, Big T, and I will see all of you at the matches, and I'll see all of you for your TNA Genesis 2025 review and results show sometime next week. Take care, everybody. I love you all, and of course, good night, everybody, and I love you, Tessa. Go get Jordynne. Get that win on Sunday night.
This is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, the Overman, Exodus Pro founder, EC3. I'm here with Big T, and you're watching Beyond the Ring with Big T. Cool. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
What's up, guys? It's Wardlow here, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring with Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy, Jrodynne, and you're watching Beyond the Ring. Big T.